Good morning. To call this meeting of July 30th, 2021 to order. First, I have an announcement. The Philadelphia City Commissioners met virtually in executive session on Thursday, July 30th, 2021 to meet with counsel from the City of Philadelphia's Law Department. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't July 30th, that's a typo. To meet with counsel from the City of Philadelphia's Law Department in order to receive information on a legal matter concerning litigation. It was Thursday, July 15th. My apologies.
I have to object briefly under section 710.1. Under City of Reading versus Reading Eagle, you have to specify a little bit more what the litigation is about and give the public an idea of what made this executive session necessary.
We will now move to public comment. Commenters shall state where they live, or if they are not a resident of Philadelphia, that they are a Philadelphia taxpayer. Public comment is not an opportunity for dialogue or Q&A. It is public comment, a chance for you to tell us what you think. Each speaker shall have 2 minutes. However, I may extend this time at my discretion. All public comments must be relevant or germane to board business. Finally, it is my responsibility to preserve the order and decorum of the meetings. As such, profane, slanderous, discriminatory, or personal attacks will not be tolerated. Anyone wishing to offer public comment, please step forward. And I have the list here, so we'll go in order. If that's so, the first person that's requested to speak was Howard Bilofsky. Please excuse me if I'm saying your name wrong. Please step forward and state your name for the record.
Sure. Can you hear me? I'm Howard Bilofsky. I live in Mount Airy in Philadelphia. And I haven't been coming to these meetings for a very, very long time. And I came because I'm outraged by the effort of the Republicans, my Mastriano and his friends, to cause such a disruptive and useless fantasy-based audit. And I'm pleased to see that your draft letter that was made public says you won't buy into that. So I'm really pleased to be here, and I'm pleased that you came to that conclusion. I look forward to hearing your vote. I hope it comes that you agree to that, to what your draft said. So thanks so much.
Thank you for coming here. Next person requesting to speak, Murielle McCarthy.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Murielle McCarthy. I'm a resident of Philadelphia and a volunteer with Protect Our Vote Philly. While there are meaningful improvements that can be made in our election processes here in Philadelphia, as well as in Pennsylvania as a whole, the baseless, politically motivated accusations that we have seen since November are designed to undermine our democracy by attacking trust in our elections. As Protect Our Vote Philly pointed out in our September 2020 letter to the board, our county and all counties in Pennsylvania produce ballot images from machine and hand-marked ballots. These images are interpreted and counted electronically, and they are a public record. You have confirmed that the board preserves them as required by law. Providing copies of the images would not risk the integrity of election equipment or records. The images would be available to the public and to experienced, reputable companies such as ClearBallot and Audit Engine for analysis. More transparency and improved procedures would go a long way to silence baseless allegations of impropriety. The good news is there are tools available to us that will make our elections more transparent and more secure. As always, POV is happy to work with you to help you run secure elections. Thank you.
The next person wishing to speak is Rob Gercheff. Mr. Gercheff, can you hold the microphone closer to your mouth for the quality?
How's that?
Great.
All right. I want to thank everybody for holding this meeting for the public. And I also want to thank you for your response to State Senator Doug Mastriano. As a veteran of both Iraq and Afghanistan,
Thank you.
I just want to say that I've seen the result of suppressing voters, especially in regards to Iraq, where one dictator got 99% of the vote. I don't want to see that happen in my country. And I also believe that Doug Mastriano's effort is a betrayal to our democracy. I have a couple other points. There's no basis for this audit. There were only 2 instances of voter fraud. Both were perpetrated by Trump voters. Also, the Pennsylvania GOP agreed to expand absentee ballots and voting hours in order to abolish slate voting. It wasn't to save Trump's job, it was to save their own. Also, fiscal conservatives really should be concerned about the cost of an audit, not just the audit itself and the hours, but also the cost of new voting equipment that will surely be violated. Also, in the Army, I worked as a counterintelligence special agent. I've done numerous investigations around the world. I've also conducted local investigations for law enforcement, and I currently am a corporate investigator. The big problem that I have here is dealing with information integrity. There's supposed to be a chain of custody. As we've seen in Arizona, that doesn't seem to exist. Also, based on this, just recently, voters in York County have already been questioned by unknown operatives calling themselves, quote, the Election Integrity Committee. We need to stop that and prevent that. It's intimidation, and that's all it is. Thank you.
Thank you for your service, and thank you for coming today. The next public commenter is Coleman Poses. I'm sorry, sir, if I ruined your record name.
No, it's fine. You're better than most, actually. Hi, I'm Coleman Poses. I live in Philadelphia, 19119. I'd like to thank the commission for for the letter, as like other speakers have, and I've certainly already learned a lot today, both from the letter and from the other speakers. I just have one fast comment to make, and that's with regard to Senator Mastriano. I think it was somewhat disingenuous on his part. I mean, since since November, he's been talking about decertifying the election. Going against the certification of the 2020 election. And for him to say, "Oh, don't worry about it," there's not going to be any problems, if an unauthorized firm comes in and and audits your machines, they shouldn't be decertified. The Department of State has no authorization over that. It seems to me, that he's he's trying to play both sides, and it just doesn't fit with, my idea of what a democratic institution like the General Assembly should be doing. So thank you for your efforts, and, I hope all goes well, in the coming weeks and months.
Thank you again for being here. Are there any more folks for public comment? Hearing none, I will ask for a report from the Secretary or Master Bureau for email public comment.
Good morning. There were no public comments emailed by 9:45 a.m.
Thank you, Commissioner. Hearing none, we will now proceed to old business. We have no old business to discuss today, so we will move on to new business. And I have 2 motions on today's agenda. Last month, this body voted to uncount 1,314 mail votes that were submitted for the 2021 primary without a date being placed on the declaration envelope. This was in addition to the 146 ballots that were not counted because the declaration was not filled out at all, and 15 that were dated but not signed. That is 1,475 Philadelphia voters whose votes did not count because of confusion on what they have to fill out on the declaration envelope. I know that everyone here is aware of my position on whether or not a ballot should count if a voter does not date the declaration envelope. And I could go on talking about that and list more names of voters this has affected. But I will spare everyone any further grandstanding. But regardless of where you stand on the issue, it is clear that the instructions alone are not getting the job done. So I asked my staff to work with the county board staff on design changes to the declaration envelope to reduce the percentage of voters who are not filling out the necessary information. They added arrows next to the signature and date lines, changed the color of those lines to navy blue, which will draw attention without increasing the printing costs, and increase the font size of the warning stating that their ballot will not count unless they sign and date the declaration envelope and place their ballot in the secrecy envelope. Therefore, I motion that we approve the design changes to the mail ballot declaration envelopes that have been posted on PhiladelphiaVotes.com and are available at the public comment table for the 2021 general election and future elections. Do I have a second?
I'd second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. I have a second motion. On July 7th, 2021, I received a letter from Pennsylvania State Senator Doug Mastriano, the state senator who represents Adams and parts of Cumberland, Franklin, and York counties in Pennsylvania, who, in his capacity as chairman of the Senate Intergovernmental Operations Committee, requested information pertaining to the 2020 general election and 2021 primary election. I'm going to ask that the Philadelphia Board of Elections formally vote to not participate in Senator's proposed forensic investigation, and if that motion carries, I will send the draft response letter that I have shared with my fellow commissioners and posted on PhiladelphiaVotes.com this morning. It is also available at the public comment table. Therefore, I motion that the Philadelphia Board of Elections not participate in the quote forensic investigation unquote as proposed by State Senator Doug Mastriano in his letter of July 7, 2021, and furthermore, that the Philadelphia Board of Elections not grant the Senate Intergovernmental Operations Committee access to the requested items. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I have to object to this, to the vote on this motion. Again, on the basis of Sunshine Act 710.1, this is not at all an objection to the motion itself or an expression of opposition to the motion itself. It is only an objection to the process by which this board fails to give the public reasonable opportunity to comment on its actions, which is required in the Sunshine Act. Posting the motion less than 2 hours before the meeting is not reasonable opportunity. And we hope that in the future, especially as the law changes, this board will give the public opportunity to comment. Again, I want to stress and repeat, this is not an expression of opposition to the motion. Just placing the objection on the
Your
record.
objection's been heard. Thank you. Even though the law does not take effect yet, the agenda, let the record reflect that the agenda was posted on our website 24 hours before the meeting.
It did not include this motion that you are now passing.
It was?
Okay.
I don't think it was.
Okay. We're going to go back just for the record. So my second motion, can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries. Commissioner Sabir, do you have any items to add to the agenda?
No. Not this time, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Schmidt, do you have any items to add to the agenda?
I do not.
With no items remaining on the agenda, this meeting is adjourned to the call of the chair. Thank you all. Enjoy your weekend.